It's a big sort of change in sort of what people are looking at within the office space. A number of companies are perhaps looking to consolidate their offices, maybe consolidate their space. So obviously that brings bigger demands on what's going on there. So, a number of companies we're talking to are looking at, well, actually, is it necessarily a meeting room? Is it more a meeting space? Are there spaces that we need to look at? One of the conversations we have a lot is around these meeting room sort of hubs or booths that are out in the office space. So, actually it's a case of let's go and have a look at these. Let's put some video conferencing in there so people can have ad hoc calling. Maybe it is speakerphones that are going in there. But I think there's a lot of looking at that, and I think there's also a lot of looking at analytics and in terms of the sort of data that's going to come. So, to give you an example, on some of our products, we're looking at getting room utilisation data. So, for example, you could look at this room, you've got 5 people on average going in. And actually, I think people have got an idea on what they're going to do going forward. But it might be in 12 months' time, they can look back at this data and say, you know what, we've got a meeting room here for 10 people. And actually, there's only 5 people going in. So can we make better use of that space? There's the drive towards flexibility within the office. So, coming back to what we were talking about before, there's actually people who ask about, portable cameras, for example. Can I move between different spaces rather than have something that is necessarily fixed on the wall? So yeah, I think there is a drive towards some of these more flexible solutions, if you like. And also I think the ability there as well to be fairly agnostic with your solution. Obviously, a lot of us talk about a company being a Teams house or a Zoom house, but actually how many times do you get an invite from a supplier or someone else and it's a Google Meet invite, for example? So actually we need the ability there to use something else. And I think the other thing which has become quite apparent is that we again want to drive usage with this. So a lot of people feel quite comfortable using their own laptop rather than necessarily using equipment in the room. So actually use their laptop, plug it into the equipment that's in there, they can drive everything from their laptop, which they know. And in today's environment as well, particularly when we don't know what's going to happen with any more waves of COVID or whatever in the future, it's all safe because you're using the laptop, you're not having any other touch points in there. We've seen lots of uptake on the headset side of things, and I think it really has driven the whole video conferencing and the UC talk, because people, maybe were a bit reluctant to get involved in that before, and now they're going, you know what, I've used a headset, I've used video during the pandemic, now, let's see what else I can do. I think, from a Jabra perspective, we're looking pretty good in terms of our supply chain. So I think, the numbers that we're seeing and are forecasting, we should be able to deliver on what we're seeing there. We have, heard of delays elsewhere, but I think ultimately there will be a need from, manufacturers, and where the manufacturing plants are is that obviously forecasts are going into there that are being ramped up, and they'll realise that actually these need to be made at a faster rate, and I think actually we will catch up. Not sure when, but I think we will. As I think I alluded to earlier, what we are seeing is the pandemic has driven a need for, certainly in our area, UC video type solutions. So I think, with that, you will see that actually that this demand will probably continue, and certainly all the reports that we're seeing is suggesting that this market is going to grow.